Hi guys, so I've been doing a lot of thinking recently about the choices that we have in life, and this is what I've come up with. When we're faced with a situation that we're not happy with, we have two choices. We can either accept the situation, or we can try to change the situation. And that's it, they're the only choices we really have. Now I know this might seem insensitive initially, but I'm going to explain what I mean in this video. So it's clear that we can't control everything in life, and to try and do so isn't healthy or sustainable in the long term, and that's why the second part to this video is so important. So to illustrate my first point, I'm going to use the following example. So let's say that you're not happy at work, you're not really enjoying the tasks that you're doing, and you don't feel valued by your boss. So what do? Well, as I see it, you have three options. Option A is to keep things as it is, but complain about things internally to yourself and also to your colleagues around you. Option B is to try and change the situation by speaking directly to your boss and letting them know how you feel, and maybe asking for some variation in your tasks or your job role, just so that you can seek enjoyment elsewhere and perhaps find something that fits more in line with your values at work. Or option C is that if those two aren't possible, you leave the job. Now, out of those three options, which one are you most likely to do? I know this seems obvious, but when we're faced with a situation we're not happy with in life, how often do we complain about it first before actually taking action and trying to change something? As individuals, we're the only ones that are really in control of our own lives. And if we don't take action, nobody else will. So if we see that we want to make a change in something, we must be the people who drive forwards that change, because nobody else will do that for us. Not your boss, not your partner, not your friends, not your family, and definitely not the stranger that you meet on the street. So taking a view that we're not entitled to anything really makes us strive to take charge and make changes to the things that we're not happy with in life. And I really want to draw attention to this point in particular, because we really are in charge of our own lives. We may not think that we are, and we may feel that we're under instruction of other people and we must fit into these societal norms and so on, and that people have certain expectations of us. But really, at the end of the day, we are the only ones who have control of our lives. So if we're not able to make the change, then nobody else will. We can't expect someone else to come on in and change situations that we're not happy with. And we also can't expect anyone to go out of their way to make a difference for us. We really have to be the people in the driving seat of our own lives, and we can't allow ourselves not to be. So as I said before, it's not always possible to change everything. Therefore, when the situation is out of our control, we must learn to accept it. And we've probably had to do a lot of this over the past 18 months during the COVID lockdowns, because as frustrating as it is that we weren't able to see our family and our friends, unfortunately, we're not in control of the COVID pandemic. Therefore, we've almost been forced to accept a situation because we have such limited control over it. It's been a really, really difficult year, and I'm not absolutely saying at any point that by accepting a situation that you're giving into it. And I'm not trying to undermine the difficult times that people have had over the past year. But what we've really had to learn is acceptance over the last year. Because if we haven't learned that level of acceptance over the last year, then I'm sure that it has had an effect on our mood and things like that. And there would have been periods over the last year where people have struggled, myself included, because of the restrictions that have been placed upon us. But it's then looking at the situation to ask yourself, can we change this? We haven't been able to change this. So how do we then accept this? Okay, and how do we move forwards with this? And it can be really, really difficult, but acceptance by no means means giving into something or underplaying anything at all either. Acceptance is a very powerful mindset to be in, and it's a very difficult place to get to. But when we are there, we can just have a lot more stillness within ourselves and a lot more calm in general. Because when we learn to accept that we can't change a situation, we then stop our fight against it. And that fight against it can be exhausting and detrimental to our health. So when we actually have that level of acceptance and we stop that fight, it can be a really, really good place to be in. So just before I finish this video today, guys, I just want to make it absolutely clear that I'm not saying it's as black and white in all situations throughout life. I know it can be challenging at times to accept a situation. But what I'm saying in this video is that if we're unhappy with a certain situation, we must take a step back and reflect and have a think about, is this something that's within our control? Can we make a change to this so that we're happier with it? And if we can, absolutely we must do that. Because being in a situation that we're not happy about and complaining about it, not only then has an impact on our own mood, but it also has an impact on our relationships with others, because if we are continuously blowing off steam to other people, that after a while can have an effect. Now, we absolutely should be able to do this, and voicing our concerns is absolutely key, and it's a good thing for our mental health. But we must make a decision at some point, because if we want to move past something, we have a choice. We can either change the situation, or if we can't change the situation, we must accept that situation. So finally, when you next find that you're unhappy with a situation, or you catch yourself complaining about something, just stop and pause to think about the following. So think about, can I change this situation? And is this situation within my control? If the answer is yes, then absolutely do, and take those necessary steps forwards to change that situation. If the answer is no, then the next step must be looking to move towards acceptance. I hope you've enjoyed today's video, guys. If you have, then please check out this next video, which is from my personal growth playlist on my YouTube channel. There's a few other videos that I'm going to be doing like this, which talks about personal growth and how we can develop as human beings. So please check those out. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel, like this video, and share this with anyone who you think it might benefit. Take care, and I'll see you on the next video.